Hello, welcome to my channel. Captain Turner here. Today I'm going to show you how to start up the A320nx that the fly-by-wire team have been working on from a cold and dark state. I'm here at Gatwick, gate 3, or parking 3, and we'll jump into the cockpit. I'm not going to go through a complete checklist today. That video would take ages, so I will just say before you do anything, one thing to check before anything is your park brake, and make sure your park brake is on. That is very important. Okay, so another thing to bear in mind is if you are in the cockpit and it's dark, you normally have the little torch on your head when you're looking around, just enough to turn the batteries on. But before you do turn the batteries on, what I normally like to do is just pop the floodlight on halfway, maybe. That's only if it's dark though, and then when you switch the batteries on, you have enough light to see everything, and then you can adjust your interior lighting as desired. But that's only if it's only if it's dark. Okay, so let's just get on and show you how to start this up. Or this is the way I start the airbus up. Some people may do it a little bit different, but this will get the aircraft started. So the first thing I like to do is just adjust these. I'm not sure if they actually work in this mod or not, but I just like to just quickly pop them up anyway, because I don't like them looking downwards. Anyway, right, so the first important thing is to get your main batteries on, like so. Then the next thing I like to do is go to my external power switch and pop that on, and then I like to put the nav and logo lights on to let the ground crew know I'm working in the aircraft. It's a little bit noisy at the moment. So the next thing I also like to do is just switch these radios on for now, and then I go and adjust my lights on all the panels here. So I just normally keep them about halfway for the captain and the co-pilot. You don't have to do this. You can just keep these as bright as you want them, I guess. It's really entirely your decision. The middle displays, I like to keep them halfway up. Sometimes I like to turn the MCDU brightness up a little bit. And we just turn the brightness up here too. And I like to put the flight director on about now. So now we've got that. The next thing that I do is just come up back to the upper panel. And the emergency lighting, I like to arm that. Then the no smoking signs, I turn them to auto. After I put them to auto, this crew supply oxygen here, I just switch that on. Then I go up here to the fuel pumps, and we switch these all on. And the electric hydraulic yellow pump here, I'm not actually sure if this is working in here too, but this will control the acupressure and the brake pressure and a few other pressures. But after that, we come up here to the ADIRs and we switch the first one on to nav, and the second ADIR to nav, and the third ADIR to nav, and this will line up the ADIRs, and in a very short time mine will align in 2 minutes and these will fire up. I'm assuming you have pre-knowledge of the A320, so I don't need to go into great detail. It's literally just showing you how to start up from cold and dark. Transponder, I switch this over to auto for now. So that's good. Scandinavian 505, speed 180. Feedback 180, I like to press this button just to make sure And so the next thing I like to do is get the APU going. So I turn on the master switch here. Normally you'd wait about 3 to 5 seconds, but I may wait a bit longer for the flap to open, just because I like waiting. So we'll let this flap open. The flap is now open, so now I can start the master APU. So we're eventually going to be getting some power to the aircraft that is well needed. Now at this point, if this was working, this would probably be done by now, so I would go ahead now and I would just switch that back off. So now we're waiting for this the APU to get the N one here. We wait for that to get to 100% before we put the bleed on. Another thing to note is making sure you have your auto brake set to max and you arm the spoilers by just dragging that upwards. You can check the cockpit video if you like. Make sure that works. I also like to lock the cockpit door. So we're at 60% on that. It's all looking good so far. I'm not going to do a flight today, but I am going to get the engine started while I'm on the ground here, and that's even before I taxi. Normally you would get a pushback, and as you're doing your pushback you would then start your engines, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to start the engines while I'm sat here. So we have 100% now on N, so I can go ahead and start the APU bleed. So I'm just going to pop that on. Also, I'm going to pop the beacon on. I like to put the strobe to auto and the wing lights on right now, and get my taxi light on and ready. Obviously, if everybody's on board and you're happy, you can go ahead and put the seatbelt signs on to let the passengers know to fasten their seatbelts. Entirely your choice at what point you do that, but I do suggest you do that before you take off. Okay, so I shall just check the status here. All seems normal. Check the bleed here. The bleed all looks good. So what I'm going to do now the bleed is on, I'm going to go ahead and turn the external power to off. And that's all good. I'm not going to go ahead into detail about the MCDU yet, but another video I'm going to show you how to set up everything that you can on this so far. Your flaps are going to be whatever you want them to be, depending on what flight you've chosen, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about your flaps either. Basically, I'm not going to set this aircraft up for a flight, I'm just showing you the cold and dark startup. So another video I will show you a lot more, but this is just a quick basic video on how to get this baby fired up, really. So we've got the APU bleed going and everything else, so now it's just a case of actually starting the engine. To start the engine, again, always check your park brake, make sure you haven't knocked that off for some reason. That's quite important. So we want to change the engine mode selector to the start position, and we're going to be checking these here and these here. So we're going to flick up engine 2, and we're going to wait for that to start. As you can see, that's going up slowly.
Bangladesh 1, Heathrow, good afternoon. 20 miles from touchdown, landing 27 right. Speedbird 8 to 91, sun right heading 240 degrees.
And you can now hear them, you can hear that going. This should go up to about 19.5, 20 maybe.
Bangladesh 001, we just speed 190 knots.
TCAS is on standby. I don't need to go into detail about that on this either, not just yet. Let's just get you all started up. So we'll wait for that to fire up. Like I said, normally you would get a pushback and you'd start your engines at pushback. We'll wait for the Avaya light to just vanish from here. And make sure this settles down. Okay, that's started. It's a good engine start too. And now we go ahead and go engine 1, and we flick that on. And we do the same. We wait for that.
Lufthansa 3 Victor X-ray, 160 knots, maintain to 40 me.
2 Victor X-ray, 160 to 4.
You can hear that nicely firing up too. I did forget to mention, like I said, an important thing was the park brake, but I did actually forget to mention, make sure your thrust is set into this position. And it also is a good idea to check your trim as well. They are quite important. You don't want to be messing with them or forgetting your trim, to be honest, in case that's been left in a funny position, and you will have a bad takeoff. Okay, so the engines are both spooled up here. So now they're spooled up, I go back to the engine mode selector and I pop that back into the middle position here, the normal position. Now that I've done that, we have power to the aircraft from the engines now, so we can go ahead and turn the master APU off and the APU bleed. And that is basically the started A320nx, and the rest is the rest gets a little bit more complicated, but with practice it can be done. Very soon I'll do a tutorial for the MCDU setup, and I'll perhaps do a flight and show you a few other things. But for now, to get your aircraft started, that is what you do. So, thanks for watching. You'll also notice, like above on my screen, a lot of people have that white bar that goes across to show all the well, basically, if I put my mouse up, so you can see all of these, there's normally a white bar. Now I managed to get rid of that. What I will do is I will leave a link in the description to my Twitch to show you how to actually remove that bar, because I actually find it off-putting, and when that's there, I don't feel like I'm immersed so much into a flight, because I can constantly see that white bar, and you wouldn't see that in a real aircraft. But you still want access to these, but you want to get rid of that white bar. Take a look at my Twitch, there's a video on there. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, just give me a like, and also subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that very much. Thanks a lot.